guys, welcome to Nyonya Cooking. Looking for a quick, simple and deliciously creamy dessert? Well, here it is. We're going to look at how we're going to prepare matcha tiramisu. Tiramisu is one of my favorite desserts in the whole wide world. 5 years ago, a very good friend of mine came over and he brought his tiramisu for all of us to try, and I fell in love with it. So I asked him for the recipe, and since then I've been experimenting with the recipe, giving it a few tweaks, giving it a few new looks, using fruits instead. And then I found matcha. Matcha is also one of my favorite ingredients, so I combined both of them and I came up with this huge beautiful concoction, and I think you're gonna love this recipe. Now, to prepare matcha tiramisu is very simple. You can make it as a cake, you can put it into glass bottles to make it really pretty, and it's great for parties even. So let's see what we need. First of all, we're going to use some mascarpone cheese, a bit of sugar, vanilla sugar, and then milk. Now, I'm going to add alcohol in this tiramisu, and if you don't have coconut alcohol, you can use rum. Normally, amaretto is used for the classic tiramisu. I think for matcha, it tastes best with coconut alcohol, a bit of water, and also matcha powder. As the base of the tiramisu, we are also using some ladyfinger biscuits. Let's begin by mixing the matcha powder into the water. Now you can use a bit of warm water so that it dilutes the matcha powder quickly. Just going to whisk this together, making sure that everything mixes thoroughly. So remember, when you get matcha powder, get those that are unsweetened purely by itself, and that way you get the taste of the matcha. Now this is done, we're going to leave it aside. We are now going to mix the mascarpone cheese with milk, sugar, and also vanilla sugar. Lastly, do not forget the coconut liquor. I'm just going to pour half of it. Once you have all the ingredients in the mixing bowl, it's just time to mix them all up and ensure that the texture gets firm, and that's when we'll stop. This is how I normally do it. I use a cake pan, and I will build my tiramisu into a cake, and that is how we're going to do it today. So over here I have some Glad wrap just right at the bottom of this pan, and this helps in removing the tiramisu later on to place it on a plate or on a cake holder. Okay, remember the green tea that we had earlier? We're going to add the rest of the coconut liquor into the green tea mixture, and then just give it a whisk. So now we have some alcoholic goodness here. I'm going to pour this onto a plate. Oops. Right now we can dip the ladyfinger cookies into this alcoholic matcha mixture as the base of the tiramisu, and if you don't want to use alcohol, just skip it, and you can just use water. That's also perfectly fine. If you find that there are larger gaps, you can actually cut these the ladyfinger cookies into smaller pieces so that you can fill up the gaps. And this is how it finally looks like. Now we're going to add a layer of mascarpone cheese on it. Now that the first layer is done, we're going to add more ladyfinger cookies onto the layer, and remember to dip them into this matcha alcohol mixture. When you dip these cookies into the matcha mixture, remember to not dip it for too long, or else it will take up too much of this liquid. This excess matcha mixture would then fall out. Another tip that I can share with you is, because the first layer we have already placed it this way, like this, I'm going to place my ladyfinger cookies on the other side so that we can create a bit of pattern, and also it helps to build the cake up to make it sturdier. So this is the finished product. I'm going to leave this in the fridge for about 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours I would say, to let it settle down. And it really depends on what type of tiramisu that you prefer. I like my tiramisu to be really soft. So I usually soak the lady finger cookies slightly longer in the matcha mixture, and if you don't like that, you like things to be more solid, then do not need to soak it too long. And also you can beat the mascarpone cheese a little longer so that it becomes more stiff and also much more solid. So depends on how you like it. But anyway, we're going to leave this in the fridge and I'm going to show you how it looks like later. So it smells amazing. You can actually smell this coconut alcohol. So we're going to remove this from the pan. Now, using a knife, I'm just going to use the back part of it to slowly push it out. The next step is a bit tricky because what I'm going to do is to transfer this cake onto this plate that I have here. Now, you can use a cake stand if you like. You can leave it as it is. And if you don't have a cake pan, just build your tiramisu in a Tupperware or in a plastic container. However you do it, and trust me, it's going to be very delicious. So we're going to carefully transfer it onto the plate now. As for decoration, I'm going to keep it simple. You can serve it like this. Have a bit of chocolate or coconut, desiccated coconut, sprinkle it all around as you wish. But I am going to use this excess biscuits that I have. I'm going to cut it into half. I'm just going to have a bit of sprinkle of matcha powder over these cookies. To finish this off, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more matcha powder all over the cake. Very carefully. Okay. Ta-da! It's so beautiful, right? And I bet if you bring this to your friends, your family, to another party, they are going to love you for this. Trust me on that. Now I am going to try a piece. I'm going to show you how it's like. And as I mentioned earlier, if you do not have a cake pan, you can have it in a container, and that is what I did too. Just like what I have over here. So this is a little empty jam bottle, and then what I did was just place the cookies and then lay it with the mascarpone cheese. Now you can see I secured it with a layer of cling wrap. And this is how it looks like. So again, if you want to have this, just sprinkle a bit of matcha powder and you can serve your guests like this, or keep it in the fridge for a few days and then enjoy it when you can. And you saw how easily I remove a slice from this whole cake, and look at the layers. We have the biscuits and then mascarpone cheese, and then the biscuits again, mascarpone cheese, and as you can see, they are all soaked with this matcha solution or matcha mixture, and then added to that the mascarpone cheese really softens the cookies. I can't wait. Sorry guys, I can't wait. Look at this, it looks so beautiful. Oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. What I really love is this coconut liquor. It definitely defines the taste so much more better. It's so delicious. As I cut through, it's so soft, and I really like how the cookies soak up this matcha solution or matcha mixture. As you can see, the cheese is not too stiff, but it holds everything together really well. And that's why I think mascarpone cheese is the best cheese that you can use for tiramisu. Added to that, if you like to use eggs in your tiramisu, which is something that I don't really prefer, you should try out this recipe because it's just so much simpler. Another thing that I like to do is to remove these cookies at the side, and I just like to push everything down like that. I'm quite a messy person, as you can see. Delicious, really. So what you get is this crunch as you bite onto the biscuits. Then added to that, you have these layers of biscuits which are all soft. And then you have this mascarpone cheese which is creamy, sweet, and then with a hint of coconut alcohol. And not to forget this really strong matcha taste. Now before we leave, I want to share with you a few photos that you guys have uploaded on nyonyacooking.com. Thank you so much for the photos. They all look so amazing and they always make me hungry. So it's not only that my videos make you hungry, but you make me hungry too each time you upload photos of such. So if you have tried recipes, remember, take a photo of them and then upload it on nyonyacooking.com because that would help to inspire others to cook as well. And these photos of the black glutinous rice, they look amazing. Now, if you want to check out the recipe, the link is in the description box and of course on nyonyacooking.com. Recipe requests, photos, check out all the activities going on nyonyacooking.com. I can't wait to see you there. And also follow me on Facebook and check out this channel. Subscribe to this channel if you have not and give me a thumbs up while you're there. Till then, I wish you happy cooking!